Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
Yes. So, as our next speaker, we have HANI CHENG. HANI is the founder of the Liberated Leadership, Legacy, and Transformation Program, an international speaker, mentor, breakthrough expert for achievers, entrepreneurs, and visionary corporate leaders who want to experience multi-dimensional success. The LL program marries both business, career, and life strategies with quantum healing, spirituality, unconscious mind work, shamanic journeys, and breakwork. Honey combined her 15 years of extensive multiple modality self healing with her masters of innovation, marketing, business experience in a best selling You Only Live Once book. Her team supports thousands of visionary leaders, difference makers, and impact driven entrepreneurs to build fulfilling career and businesses so that they can contribute and lead at their highest level. So, you're welcome to this platform, Honey Cheng, and today your topic of presentation is Synchronistic Wealth for Liberated Leaders, Multi-Dimensional Sovereignty. So, over to you now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is such a good group. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, same
Oh,
here.
what a
Same here.
wonderful, wonderful energy field. I just want to acknowledge, Swami Ji and Randy Ji and Ricky Ji, there's everyone and you as well, Jyoti. Just such a powerful event, and everyone who's watching this streaming as well, like, thank you for being here. There is no coincidence that you're here and that there is a reason why you're here. So find that nugget and let that change percolate in your system. So there's a quote that I want to start with, and it's called, "The day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom." So, welcome to the Synchronistic Wealth segment. I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about how we can liberate ourselves into that purity that Ramaswamy was talking about, that purity of source, and how we can liberate ourselves more and more and more without fear, without doubt, without second guessing ourselves, without our cultural attachments to what and who we can become, and really to step into our courageous humility that Ricky was sharing about, our courageous empathy, our courageous way of being our full selves, even if we're leading just our families, or if we're leading 100 people, or if we're leading 100,000 people, or even a nation. It requires ourselves to connect deeply within ourselves, heal everything that is in our systems that are not resonant with that purity of source, and how to allow that purity of source to guide our actions, to turn spiritual technologies into third dimensional actions. Those are all very, very incredibly important points. So we don't just stay in spirit world, but we connect the spirituality world that is so vast and so powerful and so omnipresent in every single cell of our bodies into practicality, into the world, and into this third dimensional thing that we can touch, we can breathe, and we can be in. So, synchronistic wealth is a wealth that is multidimensional. It is not just money in the bank. It is not just a roof over your head. It is not just the relationships with your family, although all of those are included. Synchronistic wealth is a form of wealth that I found is not only resonant within ourselves and in our hearts and in our health, but also in a way that we are interacting with the universe, with source, with whatever you call that higher power. We're interacting dynamically with source on every single second of the day. So it is receiving information, executing what is ours to execute of your highest purity and your highest intentions, and then it's being able to dynamically adjust, just like what Ricky was speaking about earlier, being able to have that non-attachment, but to understand and distinguish as well what is source, what is ego, and all of the shades that are in between that. And purifying ourselves, being in a place of letting go all the time so that we can let go of attachment, tune in back into source and see what that decision is. So the 3 steps to synchronistic wealth is first understanding what does wealth really mean to you from a spirituality perspective, from an emotional perspective? How are you organizing yourself psychologically, and how are you relating to the world, your family, and love and trust itself? Trust is an incredibly important component of wealth if you want to create it from a place of synchronicity, which means flow, which means that if you are meant to do certain things in the world, and if you are meant to influence and be a leader in the world, then you will receive the resources that's required for you to step into that place of healing, ascension, and impact in the world. And so trust is an important element to understand that if this is your path and this is your path, then your resources will be there. And you just need to be clear. So that's the second element, is trust. So first is knowing what that means to you, what wealth means to you. Second is trusting that there is no mistake. There is really no mistake if you have a big dream, and that there is more than enough healing to do so that you can really open up that channel to that purity of source in you, in your body, in your energetic field, in your spirituality field, and understand that every single person who comes into contact with you, even this group today, every single person is bringing you information to allow you to move through, to bloom from your flower, because the flower is you and you can bloom. And the gift, the spiritual gift, the thing that exchanges value with the world is you at your most pure sense. I asked my teacher once and I said, I just want to know what my spiritual gift is. I want to know what my spiritual gift is. And this is after 15 years of curing my own disease. I had to cure it from a spiritual standpoint because Western and Eastern medicine failed. And my parents didn't understand what was going on. And I was going through this disease and I was curing myself. And I was really young at that time, right? In my 20s. And already I had these crazy awakening experiences and physical dysfunctions. And I was searching and I was searching and I was searching. And I was throwing up 10 times a day for 15, up to 15 years. And it was an incredibly hard time. And there was a moment that there's 2 moments that changed everything. And one moment was when I asked myself this question during deep meditation. I've been meditating since 2008. So that was when I first started. And so I asked myself this question in deep meditation: am I willing to let this go? And this can mean many different things for everybody. It could mean the attachments to comfort zone. It could mean the attachments to your old way of being. It could be the attachment to this way of being that's preventing you from going to your next liberated leadership. So ask yourself, what is it that you are preventing yourself from fully receiving another layer of light? So I asked myself, am I ready to let this disease go? Before the question even finished in my brain, it didn't even come to my mouth yet to ask. Deep within me, a voice came out. I wasn't controlling it. And it said, yes. Every single cell in my body vibrated. It said yes. And not only did I know that my disease was never coming back, and that one answer, everything was going to shift, but I also knew that I had to say yes to my purpose. And I had to say yes to every single opportunity that was in 100% resonance with me. And I knew that I couldn't go back to the corporate world, and I knew that my path was different, and I didn't know how to do it, but I jumped. And I tell you this story because when you are a liberated leader, you're going to be faced with a lot of calls to step out of your comfort zone again and again and again and again. And sometimes we want to step out with a toe, but a lot of times as your light expands as liberated leaders, you're going to be asked to jump and trust. And the requirement of that trust is going to be larger and larger and larger. When you're connected to source, it is scary. You might have tears in your face. Your whole body might be shaking as you're stepping into owning your full potential and your full version of fully embodied source, energy, and light, and you will still have a choice to step through. And so that's the last point of synchronistic wealth, and that is to have the courage to receive the synchronicity and to receive your power of being able to purify yourself, being in integrity, having fun in the process, and receive the power, the gift that is you. And that was my last lesson from another teacher that I wanted to share, which was I kept asking her, what is my spiritual gift? What is my spiritual gift? And she looked at me in the eye and she's like, it's you. You are the spiritual gift. It's you. It's you. It's you. Don't search. It's here. And that is what I wanted to share with everyone. It is to receive, to clear, to have the humility to continuously grow, let go of the triggers that take you off track, come back to center, and then execute. Take action, inspiration, courage, and all three of them aligned. And I have way more to share as well, but thank you so much for embodying that today. And I hope that you step through that fear each time that source calls.
Thank you so much, honey. Thank you so much again. Yes, it's a psychological trust that is a very important component of prosperity, as you said. And then nothing is wrong. Absolutely, in this world, the universe is always right. What we need to understand is what is going on around us. It is guiding us, as Wendy is saying, it is synchronicity, and that needs to be understood. And that can be understood only when you have got a clear mind, absolutely free to receive and be open and release everything. Just surrender to the divine, to the universe, to that oversoul, and everything sets in order. Definitely, it is going to be a very difficult path. It is not that easy. Thank you so much, Honey Cheng, for being with us. And here comes your certificate I am going to share here. This is your certificate for appreciation from the World United Organization. We are very proudly presenting this to you. And thank you for being an esteemed presenter here in the third edition of the World Parliament on Spirituality 2020 Asia. Thank you from the whole team. Thank you here.